The man who drank too much brisk iced tea.
Yes.
What do they call you, Special Agent?
They call me Brisk.
Brisk iced tea.
Yeah. There's a D at the front of it, but you don't pronounce it.
Well, welcome back to the spoiler cast. Literally, we are outside. We're trying new things. Hopefully, all you can hear is just crickets, because that's how much of the views we get. It's nothing but crickets. So, but yeah, recently, actually, it was only a couple of days ago. Technically, it was yesterday, right?
Cheers, Mike.
You poured out all over my fucking hand. What the fuck? So,
Welcome to the Golden Circle, mates.
yeah. We're talking about Kingsman. If that's probably the reason why you clicked on this video, but we're talking about Kingsman, and we're just having a good time. You know, we're just like, it seems really nice to record out here. Forget the studio. We're
Beautiful
just gonna
night.
be like, hey, let's just record out here. So, but yeah, this is the spoiler cast, so you can go spoiler free. There is a quiet warning for that. The only reason it's called the spoiler cast because we spoil everything for movies. We're not really critiques for movies. We're not really movie critics. We're just talking about how good it is. Most people do critique it, and you know, sometimes they forget what it is like to see a film. But we went to go see Kingsman 2, the Golden Circle. Or I think it's just called Kingsman, the Golden Circle.
Yeah.
But let's start out. What did you like about it? What was your thoughts?
First of all, I love the Kingsman series. It's really cool to me the fact that this is a series developed off of a comic book. Me being a freelance comic book artist, anything that I see transition from the illustrated pages to the screen of cinema is amazing and awesome. So I'm always in, at least to give it a chance. What did I like about it? I enjoyed it. I really loved the movie. I had a great time watching the movie. Particularly, I think we'll get into those details later about what I loved most. But I walked out of the theater happy with the money I spent. It was very enjoyable. It was
Technically what I spent.
Yeah,
I bought his ticket.
My buddy Mr. Saint spent the money just so we could all go out and have a good night watching a movie. And I'll tell you one thing, I was not disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna just say it. Story-wise, we kind of missed what the beginning was, but we didn't miss too much of it. We were kind of running late, but we were able to see most of it. It pretty much picks up just like that, and I'm out. God dang, woo! My apologies. So basically, it picks up pretty much like, I would say, like a year, or yeah, I would say like a year after it leaves off, and it starts out with Charlie, the character who played Charlie from the first Kingsman, fighting Eggsy in the car. And so that pretty much leads off to the whole Secret Service of how everything is. And basically, the whole story is they're trying to find out this drug kingpin, who they are, what they do, because it's a terrible virus of all these drug parts, and them basically destroying the whole Kingsman services and everything.
There is a new force in the drug world that is literally changing the game to the point that you could... is this the spoiler?
Yeah, go ahead. It's a spoiler podcast,
So, okay, spoiler podcast. So, there is a super drug out there that even your most common home cooking mom or grandma is getting in on. Because this shit feels good. There's certain circumstances in terms of what happens chemically in the body where your veins start showing through your skin, this like blue dye.
Well, it's not like a whole new drug, but it's into drugs because that's in the beginning. Basically, they put the chemical in the drug.
Oh, that's right.
Because it's in meth, cocaine, marijuana, you know.
Any kind of drug, by the way, guys, pass on grass.
Only PDA. Public display of affection.
Yep. And by the way, that's gonna be a part of a movie someday, and it's gonna be a horror story.
This is crack.
And this is how you kiss in public.
I don't know if you ever seen that Pee Wee Herman one where he's like, "This is crack." And this is bad. But anyways, so they're all trying to figure out who's this dude. They figure out it's Charlie, you know, Charlie from the first film, Kingsman, who basically, you know, basically sells them out.
Charlie was like the prince-looking English bitch ash.
Yeah, he was the really spoiled kid.
Yeah, and he was one of the strongest recruits, but he got kicked out because
he was really spoiled, and he thought he can get the job because he was.
And can I say this? Because he was a bitch ass.
And so I didn't know it was actually the real dude from the first. Because like the first one, he looked really ridiculous. Are you smoking in front of here?
Yeah, I roll my own cigarettes, guys. This is not anything illegal.
I told you to pass on that grass, bro.
Yeah, well, this is it's rolling tobacco. I'm traditional. I roll my own tobacco, so hey, just letting y'all know, we all good. That being said, though, here's the one thing we talked about: things that I loved about the movie. I'm sitting next to Hannah Saint, and we're in the theaters, and he goes, "Oh, is that the same guy who was in the last movie?" And he goes, "No, I don't think that's the same guy." And
because he really bulked up, and I was like,
"Yeah,
who is this guy?" I was like, he looks like him.
He does.
And I had to look him up. I was like, holy shit, that is him.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, I don't know, and it was really cool how they got all the original actors from the first film to come, and you know, I really liked it. It was great. It kind of got a little bit ridiculous from the first part, you know, the first Kingsman. It was like a young James Bond.
Yeah.
Film where it was like the coming of age of like, hey, look how cool I can be.
With a little bit more of comedy.
Yeah, this one got a little bit more ridiculous. I know the first one did get ridiculous with the exploding heads and how they were colorful and stuff.
Right.
But I don't know. I really like that.
Which was nice cinematically. I was like,
but I don't know. You also have to take it from a grain of salt that it is a comic book type style movie. So, and comic books do get outrageously like you could be revived by some random.
Oh my God, that character said, just wait a few issues later, they'll be revived somehow.
Right. So, and but I mean, I figured I liked the film a lot. It was great. I really enjoyed a couple of scenes. The one thing that really kind of like felt really rushed, I really wish I would see a little bit more fighting styles with who was the chick who was also in the Secret Service?
Oh, the original. She played the Mummy in the most recent movie with Tom Cruise.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I really wish that she, I don't know, had a scene, but they really killed her off because there was a part where
I'm sorry. I apologize. You're talking about... Alright, guys. This is a spoiler review. If she was your favorite Kingsman...
She didn't really have a role in the first Kingsman either. She was there.
And she didn't really in the second one either.
Yeah, because they really killed off all the Kingsmen. You know, I really wish they kind of really had more of the Kingsman role into that, where they actually fought, you know, even though it was about Eggsy and everyone else. But
she dies.
She dies. Like, basically,
we're just gonna say it. She dies.
A missile just basically throws them out. You know.
I had hope for her because she goes to run out of the room like she's jumping out.
Yeah.
And I go, oh, maybe there's like
safety for her. But I was like, it's in the trailer too. Inside the trailer, the whole house just collapsed.
Yeah. So, as far as we know, right now to this point, until we get a part 3,
which we all know there was a part 2-3. There's literally.
Oh yeah, guys.
Because that's when we get to more of into the depth of into the storyline. So basically, after they destroy the whole house and everything else, that's when they meet the statesmen. Because they have a doomsday plan. They're like, okay, we have a doomsday plan. So they go into that whole doomsday scenario, and then they meet the statesman, and then they go to Kentucky where the statesman was at. And so, yeah, and then basically they meet the statesman. Channing Tatum was in it,
Yeah.
who played Agent
I loved his role, but why didn't they
Tequila.
give him more? Yeah, Tequila. Why didn't Tequila get more screen time?
I don't know.
I like his character, then suddenly I'm like, yeah, it's building up.
But
and
that's
then,
the reason why they're probably having a fourth one, so they could have Channing Tatum in that whole role. Which, yeah. And if you want, go ahead. Or
spoiler alert. He's part of the reason at the end of the movie that you see there's going to be a part 3.
yes. But if the movie does well, obviously it does well. Some movie critiquers will probably be like, it was ridiculous enough. I don't know. I mean, I take movies from a grain of salt as well. You know, like Triple X, you know, with Vin Diesel. He was literally skiing in the jungle.
Yeah.
That's how ridiculous it was.
Yeah.
He skis in the jungle.
I
But it was like people were like super hyped about it. But I don't know. You take from movies to anything else, to any other depth, you know.
let's get on some of the core details about what made this movie so good versus what makes this movie.
I guess the pros and cons, I guess you'd say. But
yeah, the pros and cons. Let's get to the pros and cons. One already, well, did I talk about them? Oh, I don't think I have yet. I was really satisfied with bringing back original characters from part 1, bringing them back to the second series. When he had the robotic arm,
Charlie, yeah.
Charlie had that, I said, wow, I don't even recognize that character. I think he's great. I think he's amazing. We literally brought a new evolution to this character that was incredible and amazing. For me, personally, why? The fact that the actor could fit this new state of a role was beautiful.
I mean, to be honest, that's a great actor. If he really stunned me, because I thought it was a different bulky guy. I was like, he kind of got a dude up, but no, it was exactly the same dude. Like, you can actually see how he was really scrawny, and then he bulked up in this other role, and it was pretty nice.
Yeah, we almost didn't recognize him initially.
Yes.
Which was very interesting to watch the movie and be like, is that the same guy? And I remember in the theaters, I'm sitting next to Senor Santo, and he goes, I don't know if that's the same guy. And I said, look at his eyes, look at his eyebrows. That's the same dude. He looks it up and he goes, yep, same guy. So now we get on to this stream of what did you like most about the movie? And here's a better question about loving the most of things. What was your favorite scene?
Probably when Agent Whiskey was fighting everyone with his 2 revolvers. Or the bar scene.
That was pretty bomb.
He was literally like, I need some backup, and so he backs you up. He's like, you know, just going crazy and everything.
Kind of like Equilibrium meets like a Texas Ranger, just
right.
He just knew where to pull the triggers and move it.
It was cool. It was great.
Gun art. It was gun art, is what it was.
They had some awesome, or the ending, maybe like close to the end when they were fighting, you know, him, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the whole thing, it kind of had like that obvious, like, he's the bad guy ending, you know, he's working for him. So Poppy has an antidote for most of these people because they go through a state of, like, shock and then, like, a weird freak out dance mode. And then towards the end, their eyes explode and nosebleeds happen and then they die.
Yeah.
And then there's a cure, you just drink it and you're all, you know, done.
A lot of people have, okay, we talked about the cure, right?
Oh, well, we didn't get to the part where there's no really reason why Channing Tatum didn't have his role. So, with that whole drug part, Channing Tatum was infected by that drug. You may be like, oh, did he get poisoned by it? No. Obviously, he was the statesman's bad boy, so he kind of did drugs on the side, so he kind of got all, you know, looped up. So they froze him throughout the whole movie.
Which is
That's why he doesn't get the whole role into it until, like, he does have a fighting scene, and that's when the beginning when they fly over to the Statesman, Kentucky. But it wasn't really much of a fight scene. Obviously, he knew how to like work his watch and everything.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. Like, I love all the actors in the movie. They're great. They're amazing. Channing Tatum was really good in this role. And I just wanted to see more of his character portrayed because in the little few scenes that we got, I was so gravitated towards his character that I said, bet. I want to see how far this character goes. And then, like Hannah just said, it just... Alright, you're frozen and nice till the end of the movie. I didn't
and
like
it
that.
really sucked because
feel like
I
he
really
was
wanted to see
underplayed and
his
we could've
role.
got more.
But don't get me wrong, I did like Agent Whiskey or Pedro Pascal's character.
Pedro Pascal killed it, man.
He was really cool. I didn't like how...
I was heartbroken the fact that he became a villain.
Yeah, he does
really
become
loved him as
the
a
villain.
hero.
It would have been cool if he was not the villain and he was just really, that badass. You know?
Really.
But it's just... Because the only reason that he was the villain, I guess, so to say, because the villain, his wife was killed by a drug user.
Yeah.
That was kind of like shoddy writing. I'm pretty sure it was already 2 hour. It was like a 2 hour and something minute film.
Yeah.
They should have just spread it out to be at least a 3 hour film.
Yeah.
And I feel like
you
scenes
could do 2.5 and still make it work well.
Yeah,
you could still do 2 hours, just like.
But I felt like they could have like kind of squeezed. I think they kind of let things go on a little bit too long, which could have shortened it up.
Well, here's one of the scenes that I feel like could have been like cut shorter, is when he goes into this like, it almost seems like this free fiesta of having this rave party.
Yeah.
And he has to go do the thing with the girl. Where he has to like insert.
Yeah, he has to finger a girl to
put it into her bloodstream.
Yeah, so they can know her location.
Right. And I felt like you could have taken minutes out of that and put minutes into a better scene.
Yeah.
Because I felt like that was just...
Because for a film that didn't really show boobs...
Yeah.
It showed the inside of a vagina.
Yeah.
And if that gets you pumping, then this is a film for you. But... It just shows her underwear really close. It doesn't show any vagina. It just shows the inside of where it's going. He just fingers her, and that's it.
Yeah.
They don't really show her like his finger going inside her or anything. It's just like kinda, but it's just
Yeah, muscle.
Which I'm glad. I don't like sex scenes in films or in TV shows. I feel like it ruins it. Sometimes it's there for plot, so I get that if it's for plot, But most of the time when you just like see boobs or something, I'm just like, how's this got to do with the plot?
I'm against...
So, this time it is something for plot, so I wasn't really as disappointed, but it could have been a little bit done more faster. I kind of agree with that. It could have been a little bit more...
See, I'm against, like, sex and violence being overused in movies.
Yeah.
I think that it's not what you're...
I feel like we should leave...
It's like in rap, if you use a curse word because you think it's just cool, don't use it. If you're gonna rap and you're gonna spit a freestyle flow, don't just use curse words all the time. Like, actually create creative continuity amongst your language that you're trying to speak to people via lyrics, via music, via beats. And I feel like a lot of people it's the same analogy. Everyone is overusing everything too much because they know it's a high stimulus. Let's put the high stimulus too much out there. Don't do that. Be creative. Be strong. Be confident. Do what you're going to do and do it right and well. That's a tough one.
But to be honest, I don't think it's straight off because it was part of the plot. But they said it had to be in her bloodstream. They could have done it some other way. Mouth, nose, something, anything.
Right.
They could have...
he has a watch that literally can go...
That can, like, stun her.
And then you can just be like, all right, let me just put this down your throat. And
I don't know. She could have woken up because, they'd be like, oh, I was knocked out by some dude, So, obviously, it had to be done some kind of way. There was probably a plot point, probably explaining why he had to do it and not his watch.
It's the whole sexual James Bond thing that's going
Yeah,
on.
so they had to add that, you know, to that. So it's perfectly fine. I think the first Kingsman actually did show boobs. I'm thinking it did.
Maybe at the...
I think it was towards the end. I think that's what it did. I
Yeah.
think. But anyways, like I said, I mean, yeah. But overall, the film's really good. If you're just down to watch something ridiculous, I mean, I like ridiculous stuff. I like how she had to go and turn her whole temple into, basically she lives in a whole temple in Peru, or Cambodia actually, I think. And she just, you know, she turns it into a whole 50s deal, and you know, and yeah, I just like it a lot. Weirdly enough, they explain how Harry survives, or the other Galahad, and you know, from the first film how he got shot, and so they explained how he got shot and how he got magically fixed, because people are like, how is that possible? You got shot in the head. You know, it's kind of possible that he could survive with a gunshot through her head. It depends on the type of gun.
Oh, then we go back to Walking Dead and we say, how did Rick's son survive?
Sometimes a gun, like I know a 9mm, you pretty much have a 90% chance of surviving from the head, and so it literally is like that. They could have gone with that route, but they went with the route where, oh, we have the type of special thing where we can put over your head and it will just magically form over your head and it'll be fixed, and we can, you know, magically find brain cells and to put in your head. Some stupid science like that, but like I said, it's a comic book type adaptation, you know, cartoony, you know, style. But, you know, it was cool to see him in there. I always liked him when he had that church fight scene, you know. It was really great. And, you know, I always liked that. It was great. Fun, you know, wild. Especially towards the end when they had a huge fight scene with the whole crowd and everything, and you know, Merlin. I don't think we should spoil that. No, I don't think we should spoil that.
I mean, I kind of want to talk about it though.
If you want, okay, we'll spoil one major plot point.
Okay.
Okay, we talked about how the Kingsman dies.
We've spoiled enough already.
But we should leave a few surprises for them.
Okay.
They talked about how all the Kingsmen die, but Merlin, he gets sent off into a whole sentimental thing, you know, and you know, the Kingsman dies. You know, a few other things happen, but Merlin, he gets like his own sentimental thing, you know, like, oh, you know, I'm all there, you know. Basically, they find the head kingpin, Poppy, you know. They're running. Eggsy steps on a mine.
Julianne Moore?
Yes, Julianne Moore or something like that.
Yeah, I'm
But
sorry, guys.
Poppy. But she basically has landmines everywhere. Eggsy steps on a landmine. He, you know, and then Merlin freezes it for a bit, but then he steps on it, so he could have them move on. You know, I felt like that kind of was like a cheap shot for him to fucking die. I don't know, who knows? In part 3 he could just like, oh, I'm magically fixed.
Yeah.
We figured some DNA and
Well,
we
I mean,
recreated him from a baby, and now he's all
Yeah.
better. I don't know, I don't think so. But I don't know. It was
It's like how we found out that characters that were supposed to be dead are still alive. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah, righty.
right. And so, but I don't know. He dies in the film, and so that's probably where Halle Berry's character comes in from the fourth person. Because no, I don't think so. Because she becomes Whiskey now. Because she becomes Agent Whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but like I said, the film, I liked the action sequence. It was really nice. They had robot dogs. They had a robot there. I really wish there was more of a bigger fight scene with the robot. Elton John's in it.
Do you know what scene reminded me most of the robot dogs in
What?
past cinema?
What?
Do you remember Jurassic Park Part 2?
Maybe.
Okay.
It's been like a long time since I've seen part 2.
Basically, Eddie Carr is one of the main characters, and he's trying to help everybody out to not fall off the cliff. He's wrapping things up. Well, he gets in his car, his little Jurassic Park car, whatever it is. And the T-Rexes pull them out. And there's two T-Rexes because they're looking for their baby Rex. So you got the male and the female. And they literally go, they throw them up in the air. Shump! They both bite them and they rip them in half. There's a scene very akin to that in the Kingsman, as far as the robotic dogs go.
Yeah. Well, I really like that robot chick they had. I don't know, the way the style looked, it reminded me of like Call of Duty Nuketown. I'm pretty sure if you guys ever played that map, I'm pretty sure you guys know what the mannequins look like. They looked exactly like that. I thought it would be really cool to have like a robot fighting scene, but it happened too quick because she had like a grenade launcher, and Colin Firth's character literally had his umbrella, and he was just like, like
done.
Basically, just like,
I wanted to see more from that robot. I
Right.
wanted to see like somebody go into the diner and be like trying to box out that character, get their shit fucked up,
Right.
and have a way to be like thrown into the fucking
But
kitchen. And
I
find,
really
like,
did
a-
like the briefcase gun. It reminded me of like Once Upon a Time in Mexico, where they had their
Antonio
guitars,
Banderas.
yeah, as guns. And you know, and then I really liked the part where he took apart that briefcase and it becomes like a huge riot shield where he could just like shoot. The choreograph for gunfighting, I really like that. Like I said, I feel like they're really building up the suspense for really gunfighting for the third one. Like I said, I guarantee you there's going to be a third one. Like, I mean, this is like, it became a cash grab, I believe, because, you know, they're like, what about Channing Tatum? They didn't, you know, and then
What
they're like,
happens?
but then, you know, I feel like they secretly, you know, like, we're going to make a third one so Channing Tatum could be in the third one so people
Yeah.
could be happy finally for
Yeah.
once.
Hey, by the way, considering Channing Tatum, guys, I've been, I was kind of, okay, I'll put it this way. I was the same way I was with Justin Timberlake. I think the guy is an amazing artist, okay? I did not view it the same way, nor did I view Leonardo DiCaprio the same way. However, in my years, as I've grown, I said, man, these guys are doing great things, and it's amazing. I feel the same way about Channing Tatum. He's someone looking to progress, and keep getting better. When I saw his role in The Kingsman, I wanted more out of that. Didn't get that quite with this movie. But there's a spoiler at the end.
Yes.
I'm about to reveal it to you guys.
I think you already revealed it.
Again. No, I never said it.
No,
actually.
yeah, you did actually.
That, well, how he walks up to
Yeah, how he walks out, yeah, you literally did.
So again, this is important. Because this is where
Because
all
you know they're obviously making a third one.
this is where all the plot twists come in.
He becomes a Kingsman himself.
Yes. He goes
'Cause-
from America to London.
Because obviously that's obviously a plot point where the third movie where they're like, whoa, you know. But overall, you know, I mean, besides all that other bullshit and shit, I really did enjoy it. I would actually go see it again for the things that I probably missed.
Yeah. Well, there was something we were watching that video today, and we missed out on the fact that in the Kingsman store, the director of the movie is supposed to do Superman 2, and there's in the store of the Kingsman store, there's a Superman S on a chest. I didn't realize that, but that's a little Easter egg that I didn't take note of. I want to go back and see this movie again just to see that moment. Not to mention, I love this movie. It was enjoyable. I
Yeah,
had
there
a
was some great
time.
action sequence. They had some Bond moments in there. They had some good, funny things. Like I said, it wasn't terrible, you know. But you know, it was just a big plot point just to make a third one,
Yeah.
you know. And so that's what they're trying to go for now is a trilogy thing, which is fine, but make it better, make it a little bit more story driven. I'm all down for action sequences. I'm always down for ridiculousness, like John Wick 2. That became really ridiculous. They're making the third one, of course. But, you know, like I said, I get this film, like, a really good rating. I mean, I'm not a big critiquer about over films, you know. I will have my opinion over it. I'm not like a movie reviewer where it's just I just like to talk about things like that, and this is the reason why I had the spoiler cast now.
It's a great movie. I definitely highly recommend going to see this movie. You're gonna be entertained. Okay?
Yeah, there's no really bad parts to it. It's just like we just like to have a good movie sometimes. But like everything's enjoyable. Like it always caught my attention.
It's gonna be fun.
Like
It's gonna be very fun.
We may have missed a bunch of plot points, but that's the reason why we're just telling you what our facts, what we liked, our opinions about what we liked about certain scenes. But hopefully you guys like it. We really do. Like,
Yeah.
I really enjoyed this
It
film.
was really good, really enjoyable, really entertaining. It touched on those notes where when you go to a theater and you want to have a theatrical experience and have something that's very cool, fun, and exciting, you're going to get that with the Kingsman, the Golden Circle.
Yeah, and that's what we did.
You're going to get that.
And, yeah, I really enjoyed it. Yeah, and like I said, there's going to be a third one, so I just can't wait for the third one.
Yeah.
So
Me too. Especially at the end when you see Channing Tatum go to London. Now he's dressed up like a London gentleman, and he's gonna go be a Kingsman. That was really cool. That was really cool. And I immediately was like, man, I was so disappointed that it wasn't in the movie. Oh, hopefully
there was a few scenes that I
through.
always thought Channing Tatum was gonna be in it, because there was like a scene in the trailer. He's like, "That's very American," and he's like, "Fuck yeah." And so I was like, oh, okay, so obviously he's going to be in the movie,
Yeah.
But like I said, a great movie, great action sequences, Pedro Pascal made a great
Oh,
role.
Pedro Pascal. Oh my gosh.
Agent Whiskey, like I
Talk
said,
about
I think
Agent Whiskey. A great character.
I thought he had a great
Pedro
role,
Pascal.
but I really
Love you,
hated,
man.
yeah, but I really hated that he was a bad guy.
Right, I did too.
That was the only bad thing,
He
but
was
you know
such
what?
a good hero.
Right, especially with his whip, he had an electrical whip or something where they could slice through things.
I didn't like that he became a bad guy. I
Yeah.
loved him as a good guy.
Yeah,
He needs roles as a good guy, not a bad guy.
Yeah, and so but overall, yeah, like I said, I get this film a pretty good rating. If I was Rotten Tomatoes, I'd be like, hey, more film like that. But overall, I like it a lot. I really do like it a lot.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal really. Okay, we talk about
Pedro,
actors
because
and
there's a
roles.
bar scene with Pedro Pascal. How Colin Firth's character in the first film is like, gentlemen, you guys have to learn how to be real men and stuff, and locks the bar door. But since he, his like haziness and like he has only one eye, he's like,
Doesn't know how to really get back.
he don't really
touch
have
yet.
good depth perception still. So he tries to hit a guy with a beer cup and stuff, and then like he gets his ass kicked a bit, But then when Pedro Pascal, he's like, all right, guys, enough is enough, and so he just kicks everyone's ass. And I was like, man, he's a really cool looking character. But like I said, the only bad thing about that film is they made him the bad guy, and
He should have been utilized more as a hero.
yeah,
But I do like the fact that he plays a hero role so well that you can't tell if he's the villain or not.
yeah.
That was really good.
So, but yeah, we're gonna leave it up to you. We said our opinions and thoughts about it. We may have gone a little bit too off topic, but hey,
All right.
I'm really satisfied with what we talked about. So yeah, so until next time, I don't know what maybe we're gonna review next. So I'm pretty sure the next film was gonna be like Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
So or something else. I think there's something else coming out in the next month, actually. So, but until next time.
Regardless, guys, if you guys want great reviews on movies from common people that enjoy the same things that you love, that you enjoy, that you find worth your time, guaranteed, check on this channel, like, subscribe, come back home, and we'll see you soon.
Check out Jack TV as well. This is, check it out before I shoot him. I'm gonna shoot this guy. He laughs,
Subscribe before he shoots me, please.
I'm a shoot him.